Turn a relaxing hike into a disaster, which means you'd need rescuing if you aren't properly prepared to deal with the weather. And San Diego, up in our area, it was so warm today.
You always wonder why the coastal properties are the most expensive. This is why, because unless you were right on the beach, you may as well be living in Oklahoma today because it was so hot right off the sand. All again, because not much of a strong sea breeze, and it's continuing. There's our current alerts. We showed that just a few minutes ago. That's going to be for our advisory areas right now. But pretty much everybody's under this similar sort of red flag conditions. A heat advisory as well is blanketed under those areas. And that basically means we're going to hold on to this until about Tuesday or so before we do expect to see just a little bit of relief. Now, again, we already saw a fire in Napomo outside of the advisory areas for the red flag. It just basically means that if a fire were to break out, you get a little bit of wind added to that, and it can explosively basically expand all over the place. So right now, seeing that usual sort of pattern where it's cool along the coast, and then look how warm it is down here. And if we do get another little sundowner tonight, Gaviota could very likely even warm further as we head into the darkness of night when you usually cool things off. But we saw that last night. The winds right now all over the place, mainly onshore, but once you round the corner and head into the California bight, Southern California will, just not really seeing a whole lot of that ocean influence. The weather map shows a lot of high pressure building over the region. It's going to hold on for the next day or two before it starts to back off just a little bit. We'll try to get it out of here, but again, we're not going to see a whole lot of moisture or any kind of influence from the ocean, at least for the next couple of days. And it's all because, again, big area of high pressure firmly located over the California River Basin, and that is, I should say, Colorado River Basin, putting down that heat and just keeping everything real quiet. Some relief is expected by Tuesday, but then we have to go south and start looking at, there it is, Hurricane Odile, which is basically moving in a wobbly storm track. Right now expected to go west-northwest, but look at the eye right there, taking a dead shot, it looks like, for the southern tip of Baja California. So Cabo, San Jose del Cabo, all those areas right there under a very strong storm system. In fact, this system is upwards of Category 3, even 4 as it brushes the coast. And our storm track right now, again, a wobbly one, and our computers are having a real fun time, if you know what I mean, trying to keep a track on this one. It looks like it's going to skirt the coast just like that, which means that once we get to about Tuesday or so, and even beyond that, we may be dealing with some of that tropical moisture working its way into Southern California. Overnight 60s, it's going to be a warm one again on the south coast, and tomorrow back into the 80s and 90s. Same story as you head farther north, just some better sleeping weather, but those afternoons are going to be downright hot again. The excessive heat issues, especially for Southern California, will continue, as well as the red flag conditions. A little bit of surf out there, and it will likely build from a southern hemisphere swell on Tuesday, and then more so once we get to Wednesday and Thursday. If Odile does indeed move offshore just a little bit, it will be an extreme southeast influence. And there's your Santa Maria forecast, the tropical clouds. About a 20% chance of maybe a shower or two for those areas south of Point Conception by Wednesday and Thursday. For the most part, it looks like the tropical moisture will likely brush most of our region. That's usually the typical pattern of these systems. But once in a great while, though, we do have to keep an eye on it. Last century, a couple of storms did make their way. The tropical systems held together and made it all the way into Southern California. So it's never completely out of the realm of possibilities.
They've been back to back to back too, so
I know,
it's maybe hoping the next one will.
Marie, Norbert, and Odile.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that, Sean. A coyote finds a perfect place for a nap, but how did the little guy get in there? That story coming up.
And next in sports, we're recapping a couple of high school football games.